everyone, welcome to Steel Wars. I am Steel Saunders, and I do love Star Wars. And we are joined on this Sunday afternoon, our time, by Blue Harvest's very own Horst Burkhardt. How you doing?
How's it going, buddy?
It is, it's been a long year.
Hasn't it? Whew.
Jeez. If those are unaware, I am back in LA, and yep, it's pretty surreal.
Lots going on.
Yeah, we are going to talk about Skeleton Crew and all that good stuff. But what I would like to say is our heart goes out to everyone affected by the fires, and that is just thousands and thousands of people and families. And a special place in our family's heart is Harrison's dear teacher, Miss King. She lost her home in the fires. So it's definitely not, I'm not sure how it's covered, especially like in Australia and stuff. Like, it's not all just Paris Hilton and that sort of thing. It's not just like the rich elite, but just working people that LA is chock full of. And below on the YouTube, and it'll also be on the podcast versions, is a link for her GoFundMe, just to, get her some money to keep her going. Like, all the insurance thing, I'm sure, is an absolute double nightmare. So, if you got a couple bucks, we've got a lovely community worldwide. Just chuck in a couple bucks and it will all add up if you can. So that link it's below on the YouTube, and it will be in the podcast if the majority of people will listen to the podcast later on. So, but yeah, it was just like, once again, I'm in the situation of what would Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson do in this movie?
Man, well, I was talking
to be honest, I don't give a shit what he do in real life.
Yeah, me neither. He seems like a dickhead.
But he plays some heroic characters.
Will and I were talking about it because one day you and I were texting about it, and you said you were just missing an alien invasion in your apocalypse checklist. And Will and I are ready. When they show up, here we come. We're coming over. We're helping, buddy. We're ready for the resistance.
Yeah, shout out. I think it's Mike.
Yep.
No, I know his name's Mike, but it just says Hinton Star Wars family.
Oh, so it could be anybody from the family. We may never know.
But I presume it's Mike. Shout out Eric in the chat as well. So we did the full packed car.
Oh, man.
And I don't know if this is healthy, but I just live my life through references. And like, so the hill, the Hollywood Hill, where Runyon Canyon is, that, like, which is a totally like separate fire, that started on Wednesday night. And just from our backyard, I think I sent you the photo. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's just like this, you're just watching this fire grow, and then the Thunderbirds. Did you ever watch the Thunderbirds, the little marionettes?
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Right now, it's like a cartoon on Amazon, pretty sick. But I used to watch the marionettes out of England, in the 80s and stuff. It was on 6 a.m. Saturday mornings.
Ooh, kicking off your Saturday morning right.
But I tell you, the devastating thing is 6 a.m. is an early time to wake up. And sometimes I'd fall asleep by the end of the episode again.
Oh, no.
And I'd just be like, oh. So pre VCR ownership. We were I don't think we were a bit late to the VCR deal. But man, once we got one,
made that whole 6 a.m. thing a lot easier to deal with.
Oh, we ignored that warning at the start of those videotapes, let me tell you. Statute of limitations is over, I think, for 80s video bootlegging. But yeah, so these helicopters come in and they're just dumping water, and you can just see all the water come down. And
Some of the footage I've seen those, and what do they call the planes? The super scoopers?
yeah,
The planes that go up and scoop up the water? Wild.
the Josh says I could only get up for Thunderbirds at my grandparents' place. My mum wouldn't let me get up that early for TV. What sort of mum doesn't let their kid get up early? It's weird. I guess
Maybe she wasn't up for him getting up early with the express prospect of watching TV, right?
Maybe if he was an age where he had to be watched that early, do you know what I mean? So I guess I sort of understand that. But it was the 80s. Okay.
Yeah, you know who watched me that early at that age was the TV. That was who was watching me.
Yeah, I was safe with the Tracy brothers. Yeah, so that was pretty full on, and I did, even in living a surreal movie moment. I did like, yeah, and it's like, yeah, I had Jonathan Grasso was texting me to make sure I was okay, and there was a little bit of a group chat going with Araj and Randy and stuff. And I said, oh yeah, we're all good. And then I'm like, oh, update, maybe not so good. Currently packing precious family heirlooms, and so like all the photos, all that sort of good stuff. But I did send them a photo of this is what I was packing at the time, which is my signed Toro Calican picture. But
the important stuff,
the good stuff, stuff, wedding photos and that.
Mm-hmm.
So but yeah, it was pretty full on. And Mike says he's so thankful for all the kind-hearted LA folks, because Mike's daughter Zoe is in LA of
right.
Star Wars Geek Girl fame, and she's one hell of a baby and cat sitter, let me tell you.
Okay.
She did some fine work while we were away with little Max the cat. How you been going, Hawes? You got
good.
snow. You got snow.
Yeah, we now I realize for people that live in places that are more snow is a little more common. This is going to sound silly, but we got about 3.5 or 4 inches of snow, and it shut the city of Birmingham down. No driving, nobody doing anything. Everybody chilling at home.
Yeah, because this is what the snooty King Toms of the world don't understand. When things get cold, is like our places are not designed for snow, or you're probably more designed for cold weather. Because in LA, when it gets cold, like we've got slat windows, so it's very porous.
Mm-hmm.
So all this, the cold air like gets in. Like I went to Chicago and it was freezing outside. We go into our friend's house and it's just like I'm in a t-shirt.
Yeah,
it's all sealed. So save your snide little remarks, Tom. Please.
Yeah, man. Alabama is not prepared for 4 inches of snow at all. Now, on the other hand, the next morning I woke up and it was all melted because the sun finally came out. So it wasn't around for long. I still have a couple of places in my yard that have some snow because they're shady. But yeah, it's pretty much cleared out already.
You got those little chains for your chair or what?
See, no, we don't have that infrastructure. Not even on my chair. Nobody salts the roads. We don't have Mr. Plow. Maybe that's what I should do, is buy a snow plow and start my own Mr. Plow business for like once every couple of years when we get decent amount of snow.
A true Better Call Hawes. Be fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So we are up to the final episode this week, Tuesday night, I believe. I still haven't adjusted to that. I can't work out what day this show's on with me jumping back and forth in time, and they changed it on the first day, then changed it back. It's a whole deal. But I don't think we've talked since maybe episode 3.
I think it might have been episode 2. I was thinking about it today. I think we might have. I can't remember. We at least did the first 2, maybe the third.
I think we did the third.
Okay.
I got a feeling we did it twice. 'Cause the
Oh,
first
we
two were
did
together.
because the first night they showed 2 episodes. So yes, we talked about the first 3 episodes.
So since then, Harry has been introduced to the Skeleton Crew, and so is Jacqueline. And we have had a delightful, I think it's like the first full family show we've ever like watched. Like, you know,
That's awesome.
we'll sit and endure might be the
I get that. Yeah.
although Thunderbirds was pretty sweet, I got to tell you. But the animated one. But yeah, it's like the first thing that we've all watched for the first time together, and it's been a real treat, especially that one with was that the last episode with KB when she had the deal in the back of her head and stuff
That
like
was the episode before.
And that's when they all had the big hug. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of like pretty sweet life lessons for a young boy or girl watching this.
Mm-hmm.
As
really good.
There are life lessons for adults as well, but they ignore them.
Oh boy, do they! Oh boy, do they, buddy.
What? Mike says that he lives in Pennsylvania, 15 minutes from Maryland. Inches do not bother us in Pennsylvania. You drive over the state line and cars are on their roofs.
Buddy, the last time we got a lot of snow before this time, people just abandoned their cars on the highway. It looked like The Walking Dead. The highway was just full of empty cars. Like, that's how little we know how to deal with driving in the snow.
Ah, so it's just like too dangerous now. Yeah, okay. They Uber a Tauntaun or something.
Yeah, right.
Wild. The someone sent Jackie a photo out in the desert and like a U-Haul truck, like, because this is the problem here. It's the Santa Ana winds,
Right.
And they're just going mental. Like speaking, this is another Thunderbirds reference, but in the old school Thunderbirds, maybe the new school as well, when Thunderbird 2 goes out of its docking bay, all the palm trees on Tracy Island bend over somehow. And that's how all the palm trees were the other day. Like, it was just like, and they're all just like, just holding on to dear rooted life. And a few did not upend it.
Yeah, I was reading some stuff. Like, you guys were getting basically hurricane force winds without the rain. It was hurricane force winds with fire instead of rain.
Yeah, could have gone some rain, actually. You okay there, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you got the Pepsi.
I'm a Diet Pepsi guy, man. That's my daily driver.
Okay. Don't know about the diet. Jackie likes Diet Coke more than regular Coke, but do you like Diet Pepsi better than regular Pepsi? And you just like just not having the sugar, or do you like Diet Pepsi tasting more?
By now, I prefer how like I've drank diet soda for years.
Is it for your tongue or your tummy?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
A little bit of both, to be honest with you, buddy.
Actually, Josh is very correct. Thunderbirds vibes at Adden this week with the ground opening up to the vault. We're totally off track now. Frakes. You know who Frakes is? I got an issue with Frakes. I got like a 25-year issue with Frakes. Jonathan Frakes.
Oh, Riker from the
Star Trek.
Yeah, who
Number
directed
one.
the Thunderbirds movie.
Blew it.
That movie wasn't great.
It was terrible because it didn't just play out an episode. It threw it on its head. And all the Thunderbirds were captured. And then the youngest Tracy brother had to try drive. And it's just like, bro, I'm buying a ticket to see the couch go down. Like, that's all I want to see. I just want to see how they get to the ships. I just want to see that bit that they played. Like, it's the same footage every week. I just want to see that in live action.
And they didn't do it.
Oh, Frakes. He seems like a great guy, but he did me dirty on the Thunderbirds.
And we remember that kind of stuff around here. I'll tell you what.
That's our job as privileged nerds.
Exactly.
Petty grudges.
Boy, and I got some.
Well, that was like with the He-Man thing. It's like, bro, I've been to Earth.
Yeah.
It's average. Eternia.
Yeah, they're never going to get that right.
You're not pro He-Man, are you?
Oh, I couldn't be further against He-Man.
Okay, let me have mine.
I hope it makes negative dollars at the box office if they ever make that movie.
How dare you? How dare you?
And there's plenty else, Steel. You'll get it. You'll be fine. Thunderbird, Star Wars, skating videos, huh? The Descendants, Bad Religion. You got plenty of things. You can sacrifice He-Man for your old pal Halls. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you.
All right, fine. I have to go see it, though, dude.
Yeah, would I hold that against you? No, but I won't.
I don't expect you to.
You might see me outside the theater protesting. One-man protest.
I'll look that up on nutbag.net.
Yep.
Next to the, it'll be a good break for all the stories with the dudes with the yellow signs. Let's get back to that Skeleton Crew.
Okay.
I'm just loving it. I just
Yeah,
can't
me too.
believe how like the characters, like the main six characters. I'll chuck what's his name? SM33 in there. Just like so endearing. And when Jod, is it Jod?
Yes.
Jod?
Yeah.
Captain Jack Space Sparrow. Dash.
I caught that.
I was like, oh, he posed as, but no. I do remember the first sight of Toro Calican thinking it was Dash Rendar and just like going, ho, ho, ho.
Listen, buddy, I'm glad it wasn't.
Oh, so am I. Because now he's all mine.
That's fair. And
everyone else hates him.
Yeah, it's all yours, buddy. You have as much as you want.
I am the #1 Jake Carnival fan. He was good in The Offer. And otherwise, terrible show.
What was that show about? Is that's not the one that's about the making of The Godfather, is it?
That's the one.
Okay.
Because we're just tangenting, but
yeah, it happens.
Okay, but just really quick, it's written from the perspective of the producer. It's based on his account, and it's a collaboration between him and the guy that plays him, and they just like, he never does anything wrong. But everyone, like Francis Ford Coppola in his contract said, this guy cannot be involved in the second movie if we're going to make it. But they're all like buddies, and he's always like sacrificing himself, and it was just like,
oh, so it's not exactly being.
Oh
true to
no,
form.
no.
Okay.
It's so glaring the point of view,
Mm-hmm,
and he's always so selfless, and like it's just
Oh, speaking of Francis Ford Coppola, I watched Megalopolis.
Oh, no way.
Mm-hmm.
How is it? Yeah.
It's bad, but I don't know what I was expecting, but it seemed like a $250 million meme. I don't know. I couldn't even explain it. Like, the performances are okay, but even people that are good actors like Adam Driver, not great. It was bad, buddy. It was bad. I don't know if he should have sold that winery. He might have should have just been kept pressing grapes.
I think he may have grabbed a few bottles on the way out.
He might have, man. I don't know.
Yeah, but the whole thing with him kissing all those extras and stuff, that's why I wanted to see it just out of interest. And then that, I was just like, that's... Because I was like, you know, like, as you well know, Hawes, I am well versed in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
And especially the backgrounders experience. And if the director, like, was going up and just randomly kissing, like, my colleagues, I'd be like that is, it's so...
I don't care what Godfather you wrote and directed, Francis. You need to get up out of here with that behavior.
Yeah, it's... And it's not like they hanging out and they've got a relate. It's like the CEO of McDonald's going to the local McDonald's somewhere and just kissing the girl at the register. Like, that's how distant the relationship is. It's not like it's like Scarlett Johansson and they've got this relationship, or like, do you know what I mean? I don't know why I said Scarlett Johansson, but just a famous, you know, like
famous person.
Yeah, and they've got like a built-up rapport. It's just like you're going up to the highest ranked person is going up to, trust me, the lowest ranked person on the set.
Extra, they're just trying to get their hands on a maple donut and a couple of bucks, you know?
Bloody oath, mate. And get some work done for something totally non-existent. Hey, speaking of that, for those that are maybe a little bit behind the times, I was a stand-in for one day on the second unit of Skeleton Crew. And what I couldn't show you in Australia, because I didn't have it with me, is I'm going to try just make sure the watermark doesn't get shown. But it's the front of my my script.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. So the watermark, now, stop me if you can't say, does it have like a production name on it? Is it?
I don't know whose name it is.
Okay. I appreciate that.
But
That's
it's someone's name.
Okay.
But
ooh, speaking about being back in Australia, check it out.
Oh, nice.
I got the Sure drip on its green screening out the letters, but this, I got to say, this hoodie, this is not just a shameless plug, is the most comfortable hoodie in my collection. I mean, I'm a bit of a hoodie guy.
Oh, nice. Well, I have to get you, like, we've got new ones, like, that I worked on all last year, like with fabrics and all the stitching. Once I've got those, I'll get you one of them, because that smoke, like, that embarrasses that one.
Okay. Well, I'll put it to the test because I love a hoodie.
Sam here apologizes
for going
being
nice.
off topic and being nice after talking about Megalopolis or whatever in Pepsi. Sam says, just got here and off topic, just wanted to say glad you're safe from the fires, Steel. Thanks, Sam. We talked about that at the top, but I really appreciate that. And I actually, it was very heartwarming to get messages from all around the world, from different people I've had the luck to be friends with over the years. So it was really cool. But so because I was a stand-in and not an extra gets nothing, right? Extra Steel gets to get a cup of sand if they're feisty enough. But at the end of the day, because I was a stand-in, so I've got all the scripts, like, for the day of all the stuff they're shooting, whether I'm involved or not, and you have to give the script back, right? But I just said to the person, I said, oh, hey, just as a memento, and I just don't feel like it can, like, do any damage to the production, can I just rip off the cover and have that? So that's my one memento off the Skeleton Crew.
That's awesome.
Set. Yeah, but it's really sick. And it says, these sides are individually watermarked and are for your eyes only. It is your responsibility to return them at wrap. And I did, but I took the cover.
Perfect.
So, sorry, Kathleen.
Listen,
and I didn't tell anyone about the holiday special reference.
Nope, not until the day it came out. I still can't believe you got to stand in for one of the holiday special circus performers. That's crazy.
It was trippy. It was trippy, and it's fun watching the show because like Harry knows that I was a stand-in for Neil's dad
Uh-huh.
on that one shot, and so that makes him Neil, and that makes Jackie,
Neil's mom. That's
who's
cool.
who's a badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, super cool. I actually the pirates when I was watching the episode because it's just more shots, and I'm just like, I remember you.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Yeah, the like maybe like Hawaiian or Polynesian lady pirate.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, with the hair tied back and like super tall.
Mhm.
I definitely remember her because like when they're coming in to do their blue screen shots, I'm just like, who are you? How do you?
What
fit
is
into
going
all
on
this?
here? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And when we talk about what might happen in the last episode, I'm gonna refrain because there's definitely shots I saw filmed.
That we haven't seen yet. I gotcha.
Yeah, they might not be in it, but
Right. But just in case.
yeah, I'm pretty sure they are though.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, like when Jord did the heel turn and went back to bad guy, and his greed just got the best of him. That was a stab. We were all just like, oh,
Mhm.
especially Jackie, who's a bit keen on him, I think.
The thing is we all knew it was coming. Like, it's very obvious that that's going to happen with
Not
that
that-
character.
not
but
that
not to
brutal.
this. That's what I was going to say. Not to that level.
Like,
Not to the level where a couple episodes later he's talking about carving up these kids' parents. Like, not at that.
and
No, not that.
SM33,
Yeah, he's coming back though. KB's going to put his head back on.
KB,
Mm-hmm.
what a champ.
Mm-hmm.
The and I thought he was going to stip on the little eyeball rat.
Oh, I thought he was too, and that might have been it for me. I'm done with this show, but thankfully they didn't.
I was listening to the Sith List, cha-ching, as they say in the biz,
Mhm.
and Struthers, the great Eric Struthers, that hair. I remember our first time I saw Struthers' hair, and that's all I could talk to him about.
It's you see it and immediately know that man takes some time and effort to get that going the way it is.
Yeah, once my hair gets to a certain length, I flip into a Horst Burkhardt-esque hat guy.
Yeah.
He had a theory that like his personality is coming from the rat, but I think it's more he's just living
Like
in
a
him.
Ratatouille type situation. Yeah, I think the rat is just his homie that lives in his head.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. But that shot that I used for the cover, that was so epic.
Mm-hmm.
Like how it all starts just flowing out and stuff.
That's me when I see new soda pops at the grocery store.
Yeah, I was I'm like that actually in Australia to check out how strong they've made the iced coffees.
Oh, really? Ooh.
Yeah, because Australia is like big into the a plastic bottled like flavored milk iced coffee drink, and
Okay.
and there's just like a battle between companies that who can add the most coffee beans to the rate. Like it's just like extra strength, double extra strength. So they're up to a 4 bean now, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, there's 2 sizes. There's like I don't know the American sizes, but it's like a 3/4 liter, like 750 mils,
Uh-huh.
and then there's like a 600 mils maybe, and they don't do the big one in the 4 bean.
Oh,
Just
just because you're going to give somebody a heart attack if they drink that whole liter 4 beaner. right?
Bro,
That's not going to work for them.
heart attack me up.
Oh, I would be out, buddy. I would be so anxious and jittery.
However, right, they always got a sweet like 2 for $7 deal. So you can get two of the little ones for a price. So it's just like
Okay.
I end
All
up
right.
with more milk.
Then if you got the big one,
Yeah. So I'm sitting on 8 beans, but every time I go back, I'm just like, come on, 5 bean, come on.
they'll get there. They'll get there until
We-
there's too
we-
many beans and someone dies.
We cannot give it no more, Captain. That's my Star Trek reference for the day. Geeky Media would like to know thoughts on the latest Ahsoka 2 news, season 2 news. Here are my thoughts. Because I have no idea what that news is. What would that news be?
Oh, so there is
Baden.
Balin Skull's new
Okay.
actor.
Sorry,
Rory
Geeky, I'm back.
McClan, something like that. He played the Hound in Game of Thrones. I am excited because I liked the character and I want to see more of, what they do with that character. I don't know the actor that's taken over the role.
Sorry. Enough about the Ahsoka season 2 news.
Okay.
Let's talk about the elementary school news. Just got a text. School's open tomorrow.
High five, buddy. I bet you Will is, because Will texted me the morning I woke up and he said, because the night before we recorded, the night before the snow, and we were both like, yeah, I don't think we're going to get any snow. And Will's like, yeah, I'm going to be taking my kids to school in the morning. And I woke up and he was like, have you looked outside? And I did. And he said, I'm home with the kids all day. I know he's hoping school is open tomorrow.
Oh. All right, Geeky Media, who's our Ahsoka 2 correspondent now. Thank you, Geeky. Starting production in the UK. All right. Devastating, I've got to say. Fuck. And Balin recast. Sorry, Hawes. I'll let you continue. Sorry, it was just my emotion of not having to be pseudos like I'm just happy. It'd be nice to have him
Your
out
day.
living.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I like that they're going to continue the story of that character. It's hard for me to say whether I like the casting because no offense to the dude they're casting, I really only know him from Game of Thrones and he was in that movie Hot Fuzz. So when I think about those two, it's kind of hard for me to match him up with that character, but I'm going to give him a shot. And I had actually heard that Skeleton Crew wasn't going to be filmed in LA and that it didn't seem like
Ahsoka, you mean?
Ahsoka. And it kind of seems like, from what I understand, most of the stuff is going to be filmed in the UK for a little while now. Which was my understanding from what I heard. And I think it's because, supposedly, they're gearing up for movies and stuff. So they're going to have studios and things booked over there. So they'll they're basically moving the main bit of Star Wars production over there while they're doing movies and TV shows.
All right, let's go to Corey.
I'm majorly checked right now.
Okay.
I'm hoping I'm wrong though, buddy. I hope maybe they'll shoot Skeleton Crew season 2 and they need you to stand in for Neil's dad again.
On second unit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm not sure you know how the process works, Hawes.
I sure don't.
But hopefully you're in charge of casting in some way. But, I always say I had my literal time in the sun on Kenobi. A scary amount of sun. And, but as we know, the best Star Wars is made in the UK.
That could just be for now, right? Like it seems like since Disney has started producing Star Wars that it's kind of moved back and forth a bit. So, I mean, I'm sure Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they have some more U.S. based productions at some point.
First, Rookie Feds gets cancelled. Now this. Hey?
Were you on Rookie Feds? Is that a show you were on?
Oh, it was the best.
Oh, really?
It was so good.
I'm not even familiar with that show.
Oh, it's like there's a show called The Rookie, starring, is it Nathan Fillion? I think he's in it.
Okay, where he plays a cop. Is this a spin-off of that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
And very fond memories of being on the set because it was a 3-day shoot, and I had a lot of work I wanted to get done that week.
Nice.
So it was the start of a bank robbery we were filming, and I'm like, and it was sort of like, okay, everyone go in and just get a place. And I was like, if I start at the counter and then the scene starts and I just walk straight off, I'm out of the scene.
Yep. So did you said first, you got up to the counter? That's
I just went there, and then I walked out, and then it was like, oh, for continuity, I can't be back in it. So I spent like 3 days listening to in the next room, like gunshots and screaming.
Get on the ground.
And when all the extras would come back in, I'm like, oh, sounds rough in there, guys. You okay? But I did do some, which I'm very good at, some shadow walking in the background out the front of the bank.
What is that?
Like in the background out the windows, and you just see people walk past. They're like paid. Like it's all choreographed. There's someone there going, go.
And so you were one of those people just walking in the background? That's awesome.
Yeah, but only for like half an hour a day. Oh, and the donuts.
There was one, and this is by no means anything anybody would be interested in, and so I'm not trying to hint at this, but there's something you filmed that you told me about that my mom is very excited about and wants to know when your episodes are going to be out. I can tell you.
Yeah, no, the Judge Judy.
Yeah, I didn't know if you wanted.
No. Yeah. I think Judge Judy's got any.
Yeah.
I just won't tell you how the cases end.
Yeah, that's fair. My mom is very excited to see your Judge Judy episode.
Judge Judy, like, no coffee on set, which is just like, what is happening? But the actual experience of watching it,
good.
So satisfying.
I wonder why they have a rule of no coffee on set.
No, it's just like they just don't have it there for you to have. Like for the people that are like the I guess the extras in the audience.
Mm-hmm.
The crew's got it over there, and I was tempted to like make a run for it, but
you might have gotten some Judy justice if you did.
Yeah, right. But incredible because people just get served. It's so good. But the Baylan thing for me is, well, the character was obviously meant to continue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think that's the only, and it was so like compelling at the end when he, so I'm fine with it. But that whole zombie thing, you can keep that. I'm really not looking forward to seeing how that progresses.
I think we're going to find out. I don't think it might be next year that we see that, I'm guessing. Yeah, probably next year.
Well, I couldn't believe the Star Wars Underworld posted today. It's 100 days till Andor starts.
Mm-hmm. In April.
Man.
And I think since the last time we spoke, they announced a third volume for Star Wars Visions, and it's all Japanese animation studios again. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, I'm not so.
I know that's not really your thing.
Because after Andor, it's like, I'm pretty
Well, the dude that wrote the One Way Out episode is apparently going to be working with Lucasfilm on other projects, including the James Mangold movie.
yeah, but like we know how like we know how
We actually have to see it first. I get that.
you got to
I
film
certainly
it
get-
first, bro.
Yeah, I totally understand that, but I do think it's a good idea that they have that writer more
Oh,
involved.
yeah. Like, but it just makes it more of a twist of the knife when they cancel it. Or they just never mention it again. SB Uno said, am I missing the ice breaks? Yes. But man, sales shot up while I was in town. The staff, this is probably not a bragging point, but here I am. The staff in my store marvel at the amount of iced coffee I can put away.
Oh, really?
Sam Govan says, howdy in line at Disneyland. Been loving Skeleton Crew coverage, fellas. Keep doing great work. Thanks. What ride are you in line
I
for?
want to know what ride he's in the line
Come
for.
on.
That's the important information here.
So tell me this. There was a rumor that the Skeleton Crew kids are going to be in the Mandalorian movie. Like, do you know anything about that?
So I don't know the veracity of the rumor. So, there's certain places you can hear Star Wars rumor from, and it's a little more reliable than others. And I don't know where this came from, but the rumor was that the kids will be showing up in the Dave Filoni movie, not the Mandalorian Grogu.
Okay. Interesting. Here's a spicy one from Geeky Media. Do you think it's time for Kathy to go?
Nah. Not really. I mean, I've liked the majority of what she's been involved with, so.
Yeah. I it just seems like things are in disarray.
It does seem like that, and I would feel a little more confident had some of the announced projects actually happened. Even though there are a couple of them that I think we probably dodged a bullet on, like the one from the guys that made Game of Thrones. Oof. Thank God that didn't happen. That is concerning. The amount of stuff that's been announced and then canceled and everything. Like, it's so interesting to me. So James Mangold, the guy who is signed up to do that sort of Dawn of the Jedi movie, he did the last Indiana Jones movie. He was who was rumored to be directing the Boba Fett movie. The day Solo came out, that rumor broke from reliable sources saying that he was directing a Boba Fett movie. Obviously that never happened, but he's just another one. He's already had it happen once. You got to think he's wondering while he's working on this one, is this really going to happen?
Geeky Media, I think I'm going to read this one because I sort of fit into the first part of the sentence. I'm not a classic Kathy hater, but I think there needs to be some changes. Better leadership and better planning around the films is needed. It's been the same quite a while now. Now I've been a fan. I've interviewed her a couple times and had quite a good time doing it. But I would point higher, and I have no idea how these giant corporations work and how you run them and stuff. But Bob Iger, it's just like that whole push for Disney Plus, and we're going to have all these shows and dun, and then 2 years later it's like, oh yeah, we're cutting back on that. It's just like this classic corporate thing of let's go all this way because it seems like there's easy money that way, and then that doesn't work, and then it's like, oh, we've got to go back this way. How about just staying in the middle? But that's a problem with publicly traded companies.
They
is
have to bring in year over year,
growth.
like, yeah, exactly.
They're not happy with this. Like, we're killing it.
Yeah,
How about we just kill it again next year the same? It's just like let the cow eat some grass.
Well, even
Stop milking it so hard. Let me finish my cow analogy, whores. Damn it!
Absolutely.
I have finished.
Okay, so even with mega franchises like Star Wars or Marvel, like
My
I feel
favorite
like
Transformer is mega franchise, by the way.
there's a limit to the growth, right? There's a ceiling on that, right? And I don't think you can put out something like The Force Awakens that like broke box office records and made so much money and expect that you're going to be able to repeat that every time. I think there's maybe some misjudgment on their part.
No, Haley's Comet only comes every 87 years, or how much it is, and like that's never happening again. Do you know what I mean?
If it could happen again, but I don't want it to, because the only reason it would happen again is if Star Wars went on another extended 10-year break or whatever, right?
Yeah,
In the
but then you're
theaters.
not getting like the
But
people
Grant,
back.
right. But, you know, by the time the movie comes out next year, we will be 6.5 years since the last Star Wars movie. But back in the day, we didn't have live action shows a couple of years to keep us entertained in the meantime.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like, you know, like I just think like the very top, the Bob Iger is you know, has put her in a bad, you know, like that. Remember that like presentation and all the bloody logos are popping up everywhere, and it's I'm just seeing Geeky Media. The spelling of your name got very close to something else.
Well, I mean, she's just, or they are just pronouncing it as I believe you pronounce it. You know, she's just writing it like you pronounce it.
Like I pronounce it, or you should never write anything how I pronounce anything. That's,
So, okay, from that big investors presentation in 2020 where they showed all the logos, I think we've gotten everything from that besides stuff that we're never going to get, right? Like the Rangers show. Everything.
Lando.
Oh, Lando. You're right. No Lando.
the mysterious
Droid
tales. Do we dare speak the word?
And the messed up thing about that Droid Tales show is like it was, or movie or show or whatever it was, right? It was for sure being filmed because they had like Anthony Daniels doing motion capture and stuff for it. So like that was actually worked on, and we have not heard from it since.
Griffin Campbell says it sure would be something if Luke showed up for the Skeleton Crew finale to bring some hope back into the minds of those kids, especially the one who idolizes Jedi and had that ruined by him. I would like, I love me some Luke Skywalker, but I would like to keep this like heavy reference free, because that's sort of been its charm.
I was going to say the same thing. I've found it really nice not having to be like, oh, what's going to happen now? Oh, is Dr. Evazan going to show up, right? So I would like them to continue that on. The unfortunate thing for me is that I feel like some of the most interesting stuff with the character of the kids is going to take place after, like them finding out about the Empire and this huge war and what happened to the Jedi and everything. Like they don't know anything about that.
How about this, Hawes? What's your understanding at what the planet thinks Jord is doing? Like,
meaning,
like who do they think is coming? Like
they think he's an emissary from the Republic,
but what's he doing? He's
coming to
picking
get a
up
ship.
money.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's coming to get a shipment of credits. He's the Brinks man.
Yeah, and so what their whole planet is to like they're
It's a
in
mint.
and they're in currency control.
Hmm.
Yeah, okay. The other planets I found fascinating when they went to like the
At Akron or whatever it was called, its sister planet.
yeah. So do you think that's a currency planet as well? Like, do you think
I
that
don't
was a
know.
mint planet as well?
Will and I discussed this on Blue Harvest. I
No
can't wrap
plugs,
my
Paul. Please, no plugs.
fair enough. I can't wrap my head around it. I just can't imagine that all of these planets that were called the jewels of the old republic were all mints. Like why would you need to find at so we know the pirate captain came to this other planet at Akron, right? Because he destroyed the coordinates and put the programming in SM-33 that says if anybody finds out the coordinates, rip them limb for limb. Why would he need to go to a different planet if he's already been to one that serves the same purpose?
I agree, unless,
Somebody had already rated it and they didn't have.
but then you'd think that would be like known as well,
Yeah,
because it's a lot of those little coins.
it is. And they say there's like 1,100 plus vaults like that filled with those.
What's your understanding of what one of those things can buy? Because I know they bought dinner with it and they were all just tripping. You know, they're obviously
Yeah.
overpaying. Big tippers, the skeleton crew.
Yeah, I don't know. Currency in Star Wars is so weird because we've seen so many different forms of it, right? Like even in the very first episode of Mandalorian, he pays them in like Mon Calamari currency. Remember, and they're kind of squishy and circular. And then we've seen credits in like the New Republic that are different, and it's hard to say. It's clear that they're not super common and they're worth quite a lot. Just one of them is.
Interesting. Yeah, for the most part, I think stuff like that is best not to ponder, but it is
Yeah.
a pretty central plot point.
Yeah, it's one of those things that if you think about it too far, you'll start to notice like sort of
But
cracks in the seams.
what
of
is
the story.
interesting about it and why it's sort of worth thinking about is like, can he just get one pallet and it's just like you're set?
Right. That sure seems like it with how many of them is on one of those things. And if you can just pick one of them up and it causes them all to start spilling out, that's bad design.
It looked cool though. Griffin says, if not Luke, who stops Jod? Well, other people can stop things.
If you want so this is what I think. Okay. You're not going to have one of the kids do it. Because at this point, I don't know that Jod's going to make it out. Right? Because he's gone so far the other side. Now, there is a possibility that they pull some kind of classic Star Wars and have him make another turn back to being a good guy through self-sacrifice. I think it might be SM-33 that does him in. Or we had a interesting voicemail where someone said they thought he might get like smashed by one of those crates of credits.
I do think he should be killed by his greed.
I like the idea of now maybe SM-33 pushes one of those over on him, or maybe Neil's mom does. That would be cool too.
Yeah, no, I think it should be like, yeah, it should be at his hand due to greed. The Geeky Media says Mando or Boba is a better bet for showing up. I'm not up for, I don't know, show ups. It's been the fun of it. Griffin says good ideas for sure. Just sucks the kid who idolizes the Jedi, and now Jod is his only in real life
Well,
version of that.
I think Wim also
But
knows that he's not a Jedi at this point too. Like pretty early on, he's like, "You said you were a Jedi," and Jude Law is like, "I didn't actually say that." So he knows that he's not actually a Jedi. Um, but that doesn't mean he can't have a better example down the road. Like he's got a lot of galactic history to catch up on, and there's quite a few cool Jedi examples in that.
And Geeky agrees cameos aren't really needed. Turbo is in the mix, saying maybe each of the planets were special for mining different jewels or minerals. Adam was space gold. Maybe another planet was a source of kyber, etc. It'd be
That's interesting.
it'd be cool to find out. It'd be cool to find out. And yeah, Chapman, who I actually saw in Australia, which was very nice. Josh Chapman says, yeah, if you put 1,300 volts of the stuff into the world, it'll probably become worthless, which I think was my analogy about carded Jedi Lukes. If you found 10, you'd be, but if you found 1,000, you'd be, you'd have to put them out there. That's what I think they're doing. They're just putting out one Jedi Luke a week.
Well, so I'm under the impression that there hasn't been somebody there to pick up a load of credits from this mint in a very, very long time.
Mate, they did not give a F about like anyone. Just it all opened up and people
Yeah,
were
but
just like, whoa.
Yeah, and like it had not been opened up that way in a while, it looked like too, you know? So I think it's been quite a while before anybody's made a pickup of credits.
Now, we've got how long? Yeah, we're about an hour. So I want to wrap it up because I got to get back to cooking dinner.
Oh, what are you making?
I'm roasting a beef at the moment.
Ooh.
So one interesting thing was one of the parents. I saw him record those messages.
Oh, really? To the kids? That's cool.
And I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. And I saw the spa. Like, but it was all plywood. They hadn't fixed
they
it
hadn't
yet.
finished it up. What'd you think about that? I thought that whole scene with the different mud pits and all the different aliens hanging out was pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought it was sick.
Yeah, like the hut, and then there was like a couple of the banking clan type guys in there, and all kinds of stuff.
The hut getting his. Jackie was very envious of the hut. Thought the hut had the right idea, just kicking back. So I think it was the mum that said, we were going to, you're not meant to know about this until you graduate or something.
Oh,
like
that's
that.
Wim. I think that was Wim's. Was it Wim's dad that said that? One of the parents said you weren't supposed to find out about this till you guys graduate.
And I am wondering, how much do you think the parents actually like? Do the adults know about the Galactic Civil War?
I don't think so. I think they're cut off. Like I think because, like, even when the kids mentioned Alderaan, they were like, Alderaan, ooh, you guys got some catching up to do.
Yeah, but the kids don't know about it.
Right, but I honestly think it's been quite a while. So I don't think they know anything. They're cut off. Is there enough time for them to answer that in the last episode? I'm not sure, but it is one of my bigger questions is how much do like the adults on the planet know about what's taking place outside of it? And I'm still convinced that they don't know anything.
Oh, they got to tell us. Just a little, yeah. Just give us a little, yeah.
And one of the parents is like, if we get through this, we're going to go visit Alderaan.
You can't double back.
Well, yeah, that's true. Tell that to Star Wars, though.
It's not directed by J.J. Abrams.
Fair.
Oh, Hawes is definitely not going to Celebration. Geeky Media wants to know if we're going to Celebration,
I wish. Oh God, I wish.
and
I can't make it.
I'm only going if a corporation is willing. They need me to go.
Mm-hmm.
So Prob's not, but I think Chapman's going. Josh Chapman's going, and
Oh yeah, a bunch of the crew are going for sure.
and Catherine Neen, who I also saw in Australia. We had a coffee.
Nice.
She dropped past the shop as well. So he says he will represent for you guys. No, don't do that. I don't want you to vouch for me, Josh. I can't trust you really.
Oh, I know one thing. I'm going to be sending some buddies some yen to get me some Star Wars Celebration Japan merch for sure.
Getting on that yen tip.
Mm.
Yeah. So what? Any sort of prediction of how it ends? You just think it's going to be
I think I got a few things.
Yeah.
So I think Jod is not going to make it out of this first season. I think KB is going to contact Kim, the owl, from like the third episode.
Mhm.
She's going to send in the Republic to help with the pirates, right? The big frigate full of pirates and pirate ships. And I think once that happens, the rest of the galaxy might become more aware of Atten and stuff like that. I think that the story is going to end with them not being
that's
hidden
dangerous.
away. It is dangerous, but would lead to some interesting storytelling opportunities if they had the opportunity to do a second season.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be revealed to the world.
They might still keep, like, the Republic might show up, and decide that they need to keep it secret because of how much money's there or something.
Yeah, because I just think how do you defend that? Like,
I also think it would be interesting if somehow that money ends up funding the First Order somehow. Like some of that money on Atten.
well, that's dark.
Mm-hmm. Because you have to imagine there's some kind of domino effect to a planet with that much rare currency.
Just, to overthink it, did Palpatine not know about this, or like?
I think it's just been hidden and he couldn't find it,
Yeah, but if people know about it, does no one actually know about it anymore?
It sure seems like to the rest of the galaxy, from everything we've seen.
You know how they say, "Hey, you've got to find an emissary." Are there no emissaries anymore? Do you think?
Well, no, because since the time that they were interacting with Republic emissaries, the Empire has become a thing, right? So every person outside in the galaxy that hears that these kids are from Atten think it's impossible, or it's that a joke, that it's just a legend, right?
Yeah, and that would take a long time,
Mm-hmm.
hundreds of years to be like that. Sean Hoffman says knowing about it doesn't get through the barrier, but yeah, you find then your whole life becomes barrier killing.
Yeah, or every day you just look up in the sky and there's dozens of ships crashing on your planet because they can't get through the barrier.
Yeah, you get some space Clooney onto it.
Mm-hmm.
He forms a crew. You're done, son.
Mm-hmm.
All right, fascinating. Turbo thinks we'll get an X-Wing run-in on the Pirates.
I agree.
Always up for an X-Wing. Oh, Geeky Media says X-Wings in a custom N1. Oh, okay, the Mandalorian. Okay, I get you now. I was like, what a random call. And then I was
I got that vintage. They put that vintage collection Mando Starfighter on crazy sale around Black Friday, and I got it, and it is a sick Star Wars toy. I got to say,
fine crazy sale.
$40.
How much was the OG?
$100 and something, maybe 100 flat or 120. That's what kept me out of it, right? And they put it on sale, deep discount. The scale is great. It looks great. The paint job's great. It's a really good Star Wars vehicle.
Here's an idea. Bring out the toys when there's the most interest.
You know, I was running errands today and I left it upstairs, but I picked up a Neil Black series.
Banging.
It was on the shelf when the show was airing. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, well, I wanted to get a Neil before I left to give to Zoe for Christmas to put in a stocking. And so, like, I had to do it before. And there was just, like, nothing. There's no Neil. No Neil. Neilless.
Neilless.
Turbo says episode 8 will be a Boba Fett episode.
Man, Turbo is... Have I ever told you how good a dude Turbo is? Just one of the best. One of the greats.
He's a good one. He's a good one.
How funny would it be if the kids aren't in it, Jod isn't in it, and it's just about Boba Fett? Oh.
Bro, you need to.
Remember at the beginning of the episode, we were talking about petty grudges? Yeah, I hold them.
Please.
Please, yeah.
Geeky Media says, I've loved being on here, lads. I'm in the UK and rarely get to watch your streams live. This has been great. Well, there haven't been many streams of mine to watch lately. So, but I am, I wanted to address this before we finish up, Hawes. I am going to try to a far more consistent schedule. So, and get back on doing, we're going to get back to the Star Wars Year by podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Going to dust off King Tom to dust off his books and comics and stuff.
I love those. Can I make a personal request?
You may make a personal request.
I love hearing that there's going to be a Page Wars.
Not too personal.
Can you maybe do your old pal Halls a favor and get a Robbo report too?
Love a Robbo report.
Me too.
We'll have to get old Skelly Head on for the finale.
Yeah, I'll be around Tuesday evening if you wanted to do it then.
We have to do it then, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tuesday, but it will just have to be after bedtime.
Yeah, that works for me because I won't get to watch it right when it comes out because I'm working right when it releases, but I'll watch it and then I'll record about it for my Patreon and then I'll be good to go. So that works.
Well, unlike other shows at bed, I don't have to like watch the show after bedtime and then podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We will watch it all together.
And then it'll be bedtime.
Yeah, before dinner, and then it'll be bedtime. We might even have like a special premiere meal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Burgers are always good, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I apologize. I've been just so many things going on, and I'm it's a new year, new me, Hawes.
Mm-hmm.
So I look forward to it. But I as I was saying to you the other day, the thought of interviewing someone about Star Wars again fills me with dread.
Buddy, I'm telling you, like I told you, I sat down recently because we're getting close to 500 episodes on
You
Blue
sat down
Harvest.
recently.
Well, I'm always sitting down. Figuratively sat down
Sorry.
and was like, I'm putting together something for our 500th episode. So I was going through and just looking at all the episodes, and some of them guests,
They guts to go.
mm-hmm, really makes me rethink my decision making.
Well,
I could see a real sliding glass doors moment when I'm looking at all those guests on that podcast.
Well, forward and upward, or something like that.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't. I like just chatting with the homies is what I'm about with Star Wars, because
Gets risky about that. You get 20 minutes. It seems like everything's good, and then all of a sudden it gets weird. Yeah, man. There's a vetting process at Blue Harvest now.
Yeah. So I just I just want to be sheltered. There's
Exactly.
there's just too many people that disagree with me on very important basic life tenets. And yeah, so to keep doing it, which I love to do, it's yeah, and that sort of yeah, it sort of scared me off doing it for a while, to be honest. So
yeah,
because I was just like, ugh. What else? I got a few things. So yeah, so the podcast will be back in fuller strength. If anyone's got time and it's their passion and hobby or something, and they want to help with a little bit of basic website and social media stuff, hit us up. On social media, I don't think we've ever talked about Blue Sky.
It's been pretty delightful so far.
Yeah, a part of our sheltered existence that we're hoping for is yeah, we're a bunch of people are over on Blue Sky. Mine's the same one. It's always Steel Wars, STEELE WARS. And is yours just like Blue Harvest Pod or something called?
Well, buddy, I was on Blue Sky quick enough that I just got Blue Harvest.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, man.
Sweet. What else do I have here? Oh, just a reminder on that if you want to chuck a couple bucks in for Harrison's teacher, Miss King, who lost her house in the LA fires, that link will be under whatever media you are consuming right now. I got to give a shout out to Zoe from the Star Wars Geek Girl. That much like the fireman this week, she looked after my house for the weeks prior and looked after our cat Max. So go check out her podcast. And delightfully, Hawes, somehow they returned. Poe Dameron was gobsmacked. Corey Van Dyke.
Who knew that was even coming?
And Noah the Outlaw.
I just sat down one day to pull up my YouTube and watch some videos, and is this a re-upload of an old show? No, it was a brand new episode with Corey and Noah. I was so stoked.
Kessel Run Transmissions. Their hiatus was the longest time they didn't change the name of the podcast. So that
sure was.
So that's good. Congratulations there.
Their podcast has had more names than the character Jod has had more names.
So yeah, that was cool. And do you know the funny thing is they had that was it like 2.5 hours or something?
Oh yeah, it was a long one. Yeah.
Have they done one since? Or
I don't believe so.
I know like Corey's like he's like half in Hollywood and half in the valley somewhere. So I know he's sort of having a weird week as well. But it was so funny because they just caught up on the last like 3 years of Star Wars. It was so funny.
Loved it.
Yeah, it was so good to have them. And just for anyone that does listen to it, and Corey has promised a retraction, but Corey's also useless. So I'm going to get in here and just staple this on the internet. He was talking about me. He's like, "Oh, Steel, bro, he's so funny." Like, I didn't reply to his message for like 2 days, and he's just like, "Oh, well, it was nice knowing you." And it's like, I went and looked back.
It's been longer than I know this personally. I've texted Corey, and it's taken weeks to get a response. So
2 months.
Whoa!
I have the receipts, as the kids say, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, bro." But I love that Corey, his like reading of time, like days can be months and months can be days.
Now, I'll say this about our good friend Corey. I know that feeling. So I got you, buddy.
But I was watching it and I was just like I was so happy. I'm like, oh, they're, just, having a good time. And it's so nice to listen to. And I like their opinions. Like, even if I disagree with them, they're sort of like well thought out and stuff. And then he busts out this thing about me, and I was just like, "Oh, go back!"
Time for him to go back on hiatus after I get done with him.
You replied to that text message pretty quick, let me tell you.
Oh man.
And just a random recommendation. I watched this show. You will love it, Hawes.
Mm-hmm.
This animated film called Flow.
It's so good.
Oh, you've seen it?
Yes.
Oh. We watched it
It's
with
really
Harry 2 nights ago. Friday night movie night. Cooked popcorn and all that. I don't is it cooked popcorn? I don't
Popped popcorn?
Popped it, yep. And an animated film about and so like ironically apropos. Did I say that right?
I believe so. You might be asking the wrong person though, but
Nah. I'm still asking someone with more qualifications. It's about like it's such a metaphor for LA right now, because despite what you think or you might think or whatever, it's like it's community spirit right now here. Like it's the vibe is so like helping people out, and everyone's like just being really like friendly, because it is a very like
tight-knit community, yeah.
well, no, like normally it's very sort of you mind your own business and you're in a hurry and stuff like that. But then when, something goes down, it's sort of it flips, and everyone's letting people in at the petrol station, which there was a lot of people at the petrol station on Wednesday night, because that's what I was like, I better go fill up in case we need to get out of here. But so it's about it's an animated feature about animals, and it's not like talking animals like what's his name, Chris whatever. There's no Chris's voicing any animals. What's his name, Chris Pratt. I once was a stand-in for Chris Pratt, actually, back of his head,
with a bunch of animals, if I remember correctly, right?
Garfield. And it's about, there's a big flood, and these animals, all these different animals that like would normally be adversaries, have to band together and sort of to survive and use each other's skills. And it's not a word spoken the entire film.
It's really good.
Oh man.
You guys should check out, was it The Good Robot? Is that what it was called? I watched that recently, and
it was Forest Robot. Is that like, is it in the forest, or is that a different one?
No, I can't. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong one. What was that movie called?
It was. I think there's 2 robot films. The Wild
Robot.
Turbo.
That's the one.
Turbo
the
is
Wild. Why was I saying the Good Robot? The Wild Robot.
They are a good robot.
They are. That's a good one.
Oh man, people in the chat are...
My bad. My bad.
Whoa.
Whoa.
God, what a wild robot fans out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that flow, it was just so crazy that it just fit in as like an analogy for the city right now. So that was super cool. And despite my declaration before, I will allow you a plug, Hawes.
Thanks, buddy. You can listen to me and Will talking about Star Wars every week on Blue Harvest, wherever you get podcasts. And I stream on Twitch and YouTube at Blue Harvest Pod. We've been playing a lot of Marvel Rivals lately, and it is very fun and a very good time.
Excellent. One of my favorite pods. I must listen.
Buddy.
I've collected them all. I've deleted them all as well, I can tell you.
Yeah, fair enough. You got to save storage.
But I listened. I feel like when I clear out my downcast, I've done like this major life achievement. I've really got my stuff together right now. You know? Thanks, Chapman, who says great work, fellas. And we'll see you Tuesday night.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
We could even set a thing already. I could do the little
premiere thing. Oh,
yeah.
Hit them with the peace sign, see if it works. Let's see if we get the reaction on your screen.
Oh, that's right. I did a thumbs up before we are going to start, and it did
Yeah.
a thumbs up. So please, come on. I need this. Yeah. Ah, behind me, in front of me. Sorry, if you're listening to the podcast, balloons just went all over the shop. And Turbo wants to get in a plug. Our secret guest. He'd like to give a plug to my mates at Just Shillin'. Great pod, and Star Wars spelled out, which is Chapman's.
Both great.
Good stuff. I was like, how does this podcast end? But I remember now. Hey, give all the things if you want, but the main thing is if like just chuck in like a couple bucks to Miss King's thing, that'd be sick. And if you want to give a thumbs up or whatever, that's cool too. But and Geeky Media would like to give a shout out to their nan. So good stuff. She doesn't have a Star Wars pod yet.
There's
Excellent.
always time.
Well, yes, there is always time. And Sean Hoffman, shout out to Walter, the dog.
Oh, Walter's my cat.
Oh, sorry, the cat. Sorry. What's the dog's name again?
Luna.
Luna. That's it. I apologize, Walter. There's no bigger insult you can give a cat.
He said, I don't know about that, man. I'll have to break it to him, though.
I'm doing. See? There you go.
There we go. That
Got
makes
them
it
all
better.
going. May that force, as I try to pull up the outro, be with you.
Bye, guys.
Man, I'm sorry about the cat.
Oh, it's fine, buddy. It's not a big deal at all.
Yeah, that's fine for you to say. What about Walter? Huh?
Yeah, I mean, he'll probably be upset for a few minutes before he gets distracted by something else.
Oh yeah, give him a like a little cotton ball on me.
Okay. I'll say, hey, Steele wanted me to give this to you. He said you were a dog.
It's a dog's act.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm in the kennel.